Alright, in the previous video, we discussed the sales budget and the production budget. Now, once you have the production budget, which tells you exactly how many shirts we need, how many shirts that we're going to have to make for a particular quarter, now I can take a look at my direct materials. I know how many shirts I need to make, so that in turn can tell me how many of each direct material that I need. Now for Texas Rex, they have a couple of different direct materials. They purchase blank shirts, so they don't make the shirts out of fabric and sew them. They buy already made blank shirts and then they put stuff on it. So they have other direct materials besides the blank shirts, and we would do a direct materials budget for each and every direct material. Now here in this video, we're only going to talk about one of the direct materials, which is the blank shirts. But you would do the same budget for every single direct material that you have. All right, so this uses the same formula that we had basically in the production budget. Only instead of starting out with the number of units to be sold, we're going to start out with the number of units to be made. We're going to multiply that times the cost per unit, although that can be done at the bottom of the budget. And we're going to add any direct materials that we want to keep in the ending inventory. So we don't want exactly enough blank shirts to cover the units we need to make. What if we end up needing to make more? Whatever we need, and what about the beginning of next quarter? So we need to have some blank shirts sitting in ending inventory. So we add the ones that we want in ending inventory to the ones that the number that we need to make per the production budget. And that gives us the total of that direct material that we need. Then we subtract out how many blank shirts we already have in beginning inventory, and that gives us how many blank shirts we need to purchase. And by having this cost per blank shirt, we can see the exact dollars that we're going to have to spend to buy blank shirts for each quarter. That can then go into the master budget. So here is our direct materials budget for Texas Rex for the blank shirts. Again, we would have another one of these for each direct material. So we start out again with the units that we need to make. The 1,060 shirts we need to make for the first quarter, the 1,260 we need to make for the second quarter, etc. We need to make 5,720 shirts for the year. Okay, that all came straight off the production budget. Now we have to figure out the ending inventory. Now in your book, they told you that it's 10% of what we need to make of next quarter. So I take the 1,260 we need to make from the second quarter, I multiply that times 10%, and that tells me I need to have 126 blank shirts at the end of the first quarter. And the third quarter, I have 1,600 times 10%, so that means I need to have 160 at the end of the second quarter, etc. So now I can take the units that we need to make plus what we want in ending inventory, and that gives me 1,186 for the first quarter. That's the total direct material that I need to have. Okay, the total number of blank shirts I need to have. But I already have some in the beginning inventory, so I can subtract those out, and we were told in the book that that was 58 blank shirts that we had at the beginning of January, so we can subtract those out, and that tells us that we need to buy 1,128 blank shirts. We multiply that by the average cost per shirt, which is $3, and so 1128 times 3 is $3,384 we're going to have to spend on purchase of blank shirts in the first quarter. And now this can go on to our master budget, that we need this amount for blank shirts. Again, we'll have a direct materials budget for each type. So for the second quarter, we need to make $1,260. We got 10% of the third quarter in our ending inventory we want. I add those together. I get the total that I need of blank shirts, 1,420. My ending inventory from the first quarter becomes my beginning inventory of the second quarter. So I already have the 126. I subtract that from the 1,420, and I have 1,294 blank shirts that I'm going to have to purchase. I multiply that times the $3 per shirt. I get $3,882 worth of blank shirts I'm going to have to buy in the second quarter. Okay, all the way over to the total, and just like with the production budget, here's the 5,720 that we need to make. The ending inventory comes from the ending of the fourth quarter, and I add those together, and then I subtract out the beginning inventory from the beginning of the year, which is the 58, and that tells me I need to buy 5,768 blank shirts during the year, times $3 is $17,304. That's going to go on my master budget as the total amount we're going to have to spend for blank shirts. The next budget I go to is the direct labor budget. This one is a fairly easy budget. There's no beginning or ending inventory for direct labor, so that makes it a little easier. We do need to know the number of units we need to make, which comes from the production budget, and we need to know the standard number of direct labor hours per shirt and the standard cost per direct labor hour. Now, the standard number of direct labor hours per shirt is calculated out, usually with the help of management, etc., and some accounting people, exactly how many direct labor hours should we spend on each shirt. And the standard cost per direct labor hour, oftentimes that'll come from Human Resources Department, as to what we should be spending per direct labor hour. Sometimes we spend more, sometimes we spend less, but what is like an average normal amount that we expect to spend per direct labor hour for the people who are actually applying the ink to the shirts, etc. So we will talk a lot more about standards, the standard number of hours and the standard cost per hour. We'll talk more about these in Chapter 10, okay, as to how they come up with those numbers. For this chapter, you'll be told. So here we're told that each shirt requires 0.12 direct labor hours to complete. And each direct labor hour costs us $10. Okay? So for the first quarter, we have 1,060 units that we need to make times the 0.12 direct labor hours, and that is multiplied times the $10 per direct labor hour. And that gives us $1,272, that we're going to have to spend in direct labor in the first quarter. So we would just do the same process for each of the quarters. So here's our first quarter. We had 1060 times 0.12. That tells us how many total direct labor hours are needed to make the 1060 shirts. And then we multiply that times $10 per direct labor hour. That tells us the total cost for direct labor for the first quarter. And we would just do the same thing for each of the other quarters. For the year, we have the 5720 total shirts that we need to make times 0.12 means I'm going to spend a total 686.4 total direct labor hours during the year. And I multiply that times 10 and I get 6,864 total direct labor cost for the year that can go into the budget. This 686.4 is also an important number that will be used. So like when I'm trying to calculate out my predetermined overhead rate for next year, and if we use direct labor hours as our denominator, as our cost driver, then we would have our total estimated overhead cost for next year divided by the 686.4 direct labor hours that we expect to spend, use next year. Okay, so now in fact we'll go into the overhead budget now that we've completed the direct material budgets and the direct labor budgets. Then we can have the overhead budget. Okay, now the overhead budget is divided into two parts: the variable overhead and the fixed overhead. So we need a predetermined rate for the variable overhead and a predetermined rate for the fixed overhead. Okay, or a straight amount for the fixed overhead. We don't have to have a rate because fixed overhead doesn't change just because the number of units changes. Okay, so we're going to assume that variable overhead is $5 per direct labor. So we would have estimated all of the variable overhead costs that we think we're going to have for next year, and then we would have divided it by the total number of direct labor hours, which we saw in the last was 686.4. And that would have given us this $5 per direct labor hour predetermined overhead rate for variable overhead. So for the first quarter, we need 127.2 direct labor hours. And that we got from the previous slide from the direct labor budget, said that for the first quarter we needed a total of 127.2 direct labor hours. So now we're going to multiply that times this $5 per direct labor hour. That gives us $636 total for variable overhead for the first quarter. Now the fixed overhead includes depreciation of $540, other various costs, fixed costs of $1105. Add that to the $540, that gives us $1645 per quarter. Okay, then we can total those up to see how much total overhead we need for the first quarter, the $636 of the variable overhead and the $1645 of the fixed, and that's $2281.